Yes. Okay, Charles. Yes, I will share my LinkedIn. In I think it's on my one of my last slides as well. Okay, so we'll talk about prompting skills. We'll look at some of those ones, and then we will do the hands-on exercise using the AI prompt guide for the chapter leaders. And then towards the end, we will recap, review, and adjourn in about 90 minutes time. So with that, I usually start my talks with talking about patterns. So it's so everything in life has a pattern. So the patterns are everywhere. So think about like how there are patterns in geometrical design. There are patterns in numbers. There are patterns in seasons. Right now we have fall, like the tree in front of my office is completely gone here in Edmonton, Canada. And in a few months there will be a snow, and then that pattern will continue every year after year, right? So, and what is important is if we understand the pattern, we can understand and predict the behavior. And that is a very important skill set that we need to build. So let's just change some gears and look back into the Industrial Revolution. So the first Industrial Revolution was about mechanization, steam power, and water power. That lasted about like 150 years up until World War One. And then we get into, after the World War II, we get into second industrial revolution. That was all about mass production, assembly line, electricity, rail network, road networks, mass immigration. The distance becomes shorter in terms of from days and months into hours nowadays, right? And that lasted up until late 80s, when the internet was the birth of internet in about late 80s, early 90s, when we get into third industrial revolution. That was about computer and automation. And during this time, most of us have worked in that computer and automation, so we understand how we have transformed the industry in different aspects of industrial revolution by using computers and automation. Now we are getting into the fourth industrial revolution, which is cyber physical systems, AI, neural network, nanotechnology, and much more. So let's talk about a pattern here. So what are the patterns here? So there are a number of key patterns that I would like to highlight here. Number one, the time it takes for industrial revolution is shrinking. So first industrial revolution, 150 years. Second, about 70 year. Third, about 35-ish year. And the fourth industrial revolution would be shorter, right? Whether it's going to be 15 years or 10 years, we don't know. So what is very clear is that the cycle of the time is shrinking for the industrial revolution, and the innovation growth is much more exponential. Meaning, in each industrial revolution, we are building based on what was built in the previous industrial revolution and the current industrial revolution. And that gives us the exponential return. And this pattern will continue. And what it means by that we are the first generation who will experience multiple industrial revolutions in our lifetime. Meaning, we have seen the third industrial revolution, computers and automation. Email was a big thing, internet was a big thing, and now we are getting to fourth industrial revolution where AI is a big thing and it's making things happen for us. And what's going to happen in future, we may not have a fifth industrial revolution, rather we may have a micro industrial revolution that may change every 5 years. And that will have a bigger impact because our professions will change. Okay, so think about like some people have family name as like carpenter or blacksmith. Why? Because in the first industrial revolution time, that was their family that would do for 100+ years, right? Now we are changing our profession by ourselves, right? I started as a software engineer. I become a business analyst, project manager, program manager, and a bunch of other things in between, right? So for our future generation, they have to change and adapt to different careers, and that pattern will impact us the most. So what is the lesson that we are learning from this? is the important skill set is not learning the tool itself, but rather it's our ability to unlearn. So we need to unlearn our old habits. We need to unlearn our old ways of doing things, because pretty soon we have to do it differently, right? And we can't just go back and say, yeah, that's the right way to do, right? Because the technology is changing and this AI is enabling us things that were not possible before, right? Something simple like reading a 200-page PDF document in less than few minutes and you can ask any questions, right? That's was humanly impossible. It is here to augment our capabilities. And then what we need to do is we need to build our ability to relearn, right? So it's unlearning and relearning the new way, again, adopting to the new ways of doing things, learning the new habit, and this cycle will continue. And remember, in the previous slide, I was talking about how the time is shrinking and innovation growth is happening faster. This is more important now to have the ability to unlearn, because that will make us the true differentiator from others. So with that, now all of us have been using ChatGPT for almost 2 years now, and we know how ChatGPT can be agreeable, right? Just say yes, sir, all the time. But the real power lies in this age is asking the right question. Sometimes we are not asking the right question. Sometimes we are not sure that AI can do that, right? So if you are questioning that, then just ask a question. Can you do this? Can you analyze a spreadsheet? Can you analyze this graph? Or can you analyze this PDF document? Or can you analyze this diagram and tell me what is wrong here? And give me some critique. So this is what lies in the generative AI. So AI reflects our inquiries, meaning the smarter the question we ask, the smarter the AI get. It's highly adaptive, meaning if I ask dumb questions, it will get dumber. But if I ask smart questions, it will become very, very smart and it will get hyper personalized to my level. That's what we call adaptive intelligence. We have an human advantage, right? So generative AI has read every single thing on the internet. Okay. However, as a human, we understand the politics, office politics, for example. We understand the human factors. We understand that as a human, we are concerned about AI maybe taking our jobs, right? So this is where the human advantage comes in picture. The primary skills that we need to build in this age is asking the question to generative AI to help us take it to the next level. So embrace the question and shape the future. All of you have seen this Harvard Business Review headline: AI won't replace humans, but human with AI replace human without AI. And the example I gave is this is not something new. If we are talking about like 100 years back, farmers were worried about the farming equipment, saying that AI farming equipment will not replace farmers, but the farmer with the farming equipment will replace farmer without farming equipment. Today, we know that we have less number of farmers in the world. We have more yield per crop, and we also have more over 8 billion human on Earth that were never before, and most of us are getting food. So again, this is what it shows, that it's a new technology, it's a new pattern, but again, because it's something new, it doesn't mean that it never happened. It has happened before, and as a human, we have adopted. We have seen so many new careers. For example, cloud engineer, right? Nobody knew about cloud engineer 15 years back, 20 years back, right? Now we all live in cloud, right? I mean, Amazon Web Services went down a few days back, and then half of the internet was down, right? So this is the real impact. So we will have new professions, we will have new challenges, but we need to get ourselves ready to adopt. So generative AI tools, I'm gonna go through this one very fast. Google Gemini by Google, ChatGPT by OpenAI, Claude by Anthropics, Meta Llama by Facebook, Copilot by Microsoft, and Grok by Twitter. Now, Microsoft Copilot is kind of, I'm seeing a major adoption in last 6 months to a year time, that a lot of companies are offering it. And it's a great tool because within that, it has access to your SharePoint drive, the document repository, and from there you can fetch a lot of information, right? So if your organization is offering Microsoft Copilot, embrace it, and that's something would be very, very useful for you in the future. Now, how can we interact with generative AI? There are a number of ways to do it. First one is the web interface. We will use some examples today, which is basically going to the website. The second is API interface. This is where you build an application and your application call the chat GPT for something and can do something for you. Then there are custom GPTs. So custom GPTs are example that you can create for yourself or for business or for public to do specific things. Excuse me. And the last one is Enterprise GPT. Microsoft Copilot is an example of Enterprise GPT, where you can do a lot more using enterprise level permissions, enterprise level access, because SharePoint knows your organizational hierarchy. Microsoft Entra ID knows who you are, and based on your roles and permissions, you will get access to different components within those GPTs. Any questions so far? Okay.
Do you think we will have access to this slide deck later?
Yes, I can provide you the slide deck, definitely.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, what are the common Gen AI features? Now, when generative AI ChatGPT was first introduced, it was a single model, only text. Now we have multi-model, meaning it can do text, images, video, voice, and more. We have started seeing the AI agents or agentic AI. That means you can have an agent to do some specific things on your behalf, meaning go and find this user profile on LinkedIn and tell me something interesting. Go and search this website for, or go and search this site for the cheap airfare ticket by this combination, right? So it can analyze things for you. It can do real-time multi-language support. Now you don't need the need of interpreter. On your phone, you can have multi-language support and you can communicate in the real time. It has increased the token limits. So when ChatGPT was first introduced, there was a token limit, how many prompts you can pass in a day. Now that token limit is almost gone, but again, if you're a heavy user, you will get stuck with token limit sometime, right? So sometimes I do get hit by those token limits. You can get more context through RAG, which is retrieval augmented generative. Sorry, I forgot that. Which is basically meaning that you connect with multiple more data sources to your context window. It has real-time web access and updates. It's faster and cheaper and more accurate. So remember, the Moore law says that microprocessor get half the price in 2 years and double the processing speed. So in terms of generative AI, that is happening almost 8 months. So within 8 months, generative AI is getting double the speed and half the price. And we have already seen that, right? There are floodgate of AI applications and tools that are available to us every single day. And they can do a lot more than what we can think of. Now, the real question is, how can I use it for my benefit, right? How can I use it my benefit as a board member or as whatever role I'm doing in the organization? So I'm going to change some gears here. We'll talk about prompt engineering skills. For some reason, I don't like the term engineering. I believe it's more skills than engineering. So the reason I say that, all of us drive vehicles. We are not automotive engineers. We have the driving skills. All of us use computers. We have computing skills, but we are not computer engineers. So definitely there's a field called AI prompt engineering, specialized people But again, for everybody else, we need to build this new skill set so that we can leverage AI for our own benefit to help us do things that were not possible before, meaning use AI to augment our capabilities. So what is prompting? It's an emerging skill set. It's a process of creating set of prompts or instruction that we would like to use to get the desired output. So a lot of time AI do the hallucination, and hallucination is happening because the prompt that you are providing is very loose, very generic. So the more context you provide, the more clear instructions you provide, the better your prompt is, and we will look at some of the good practices. It involves instructions and the context that we pass to the large language model to get the desired results. Now, we'll talk about prompt categories. There's a knowledge prompt that can extract information or the knowledge. So, for example, what is the capital of North Dakota? Okay, it's a general knowledge question. Creative prompts. These are like artistic expression, like poem, graphics, storytelling. You can say, "Help me write a poem about this and this topic in this and this language." Reasoning prompt that help us solve the problem, like a problem solving, which involves critical thinking. So help me explain, like for example, my kids, I'm like, okay, if you get stuck in something, just go and ask ChatGPT how to solve this problem, right? Because then ChatGPT can explain them to their level, right? And because they're writing prompts every single day, ChatGPT is learning about them, right? So that's a behavior that kind of a engraving, and that's kind of a helping ChatGPT or Gemini to give them the prompt proper response in the reasoning. Then they have decision making prompts. So based on a scenario, based on the data, or based on the context, what are the different decisions you would make? What are different scenarios you may have, or what are the different options, or what are the different yeah, simulations you may be able to run using the same data. And the last one is code generation, writing a code using generative AI. Programmers nowadays, they don't write code anymore. They use generative AI to write the code, and they just review the code and make sure the code is written to a level that makes sense, and then they just kind of edit it where required and put it into their source code. So with that, we'll talk about what are the elements of a good prompt. So the first one is we need to provide the instruction, a specific task or instruction that we would like model to perform. Then what we would like to do is we would like to provide a context, that is external information that can steer the model. And also we talk about persona. So persona means about myself. So I'm working as a board of director, or board of volunteer board member, as a director of membership, as a director of program. That's my persona for this and this organization. And then asking a question saying, help me as my AI assistant to do X, Y, and Z. So by doing that persona, you kind of set up the ground for the generative AI to do things differently for you. Then we provide input data, or like spreadsheets of data, or whatever type of data we have, whether it's structured data or unstructured data. And then we talk about output indicator. So for example, it could be give me the output in a table format, or give me the output as a graph or a chart, or help me draw a diagram, or help me draw a picture that I can use in my PowerPoint to show this and this, right? And then lastly, and the important one, is a response tone. So response tones are used to tell the model whether you are working in a professional setting or you're working in a different type of setting. How would you like that response to be? So the example of a response tones could be a friendly, patriotic or romantic, funny or humorous, motivational, formal or professional. caring and sympathetic. Somebody passed away, or some one of the team member having some issues. Help you write a caring or sympathetic message. Encouraging, inspirational, informal, or casual. And there are many more response tone, right? These are just few examples of the response tone that you can use in your prompts. So good practice: start simple, provide clear instructions, because think of this: ChatGPT is, or any generative AI that you use, is the smart intern who just graduate with an MBA, has done some certification, understand your business, but because this intern is a little rookie, it will make some mistakes. So that's why it is your responsibility as a manager, or as his boss or her boss, to review every single content that he or she is producing before you give it to the next person. You need to be specific, because if you provide vague information, it's gonna give you the vague information. We have all learned the term or heard about it: garbage in, garbage out. In the world of AI, is garbage in and garbage out exponentially, right? Because it's just so much, it can start hallucinating, right? And that's where we need to be very specific. We need to avoid impreciseness. That means we need to be direct, right? um, as a human, sometimes we have a nature to explain things and make simple thing complicated. Okay, so you need to be very, very clear what problem we are trying to solve here, because if you don't know what problem you're trying to solve here, generative AI can take you tangent very, very easily. Also, you need to say what you would like model to do and not to do. Be very, very specific, because let's say you want model to give you output in a table format. That's a different thing rather than the bullet points, right? And that, if you don't do say that, it can give you either, or maybe give you a total description that you have to read, and it does not make sense, right? So this is why it is very important to follow these good practices. Any questions so far? Okay, so prompting techniques. Here are the 5 prompting techniques. The first one is zero or few shot prompt. It's when you prompt a model without providing any context, or you do not train the model for a specific scenario. You just see whether it can do it out of the box. So there's a variation: zero or few. Few means you provide few instructions or few test cases or few training. Zero means no training was provided. You just test the model out of the box. The second one, which is one of my favorite, is chain of thought. It is a series of prompts to guide the generative AI to give you the response. So rather than writing a one big prompt, like 2 pages prompt, you write smaller prompts and build upon it. Because once you start building on the chain of thought, it understands how you ask questions. Okay. Self-consistent prompts are the one big prompt, like 2 page prompt, that you may be able to use, right? So there's no harm in using the 2 page prompt, but that means if you're writing the 2 page or 4 page prompt, that means you need to really read that prompt very well and make sure it's written very well and good enough, right? um, Most of us, at least I'm not good at writing like 4 pages of document and not making any mistakes, so I would go back to chain of thought all the time. The other one is instruction or context prompt. So again, provide an instruction and the context, and sorting things in a bite chunk. And the last one is a react. That is a prompt for opinion, emotional response, evaluate a scenario, help me identify the risk mitigation strategies for this type of risk, right? Those are kind of a react type of prompting techniques. So when you are writing a prompt, you can write a prompt using any of these prompting techniques, and you can combine these together, and you can mix and match depending on what you would like to achieve. But this is the general prompting techniques. Now, here's my warning. Even when you're working for the board, I do not want you to use the AI without having the written approval from your board, or at work. I would like you to get the written approval from the senior management whether you can use the generative AI or not, and be very specific whether you can use, because a lot of organizations are nowadays offering Copilot or Google Gemini within the corporation. So if that is the case, just follow that. If you are working as a board leader, then you just need to make sure you are using, your board is approving that you can use that particular model for for anything. The other thing is that most of the time, if you're using a free version, that means any information you provide could be used to train the model or could be used as an output. So always make sure to use a paid version, and make sure to understand the privacy policy and terms and condition of those AI models as well. Okay, so next, what we will do is we will go into the prompt guide. So you, all of you have received this PDF document. Okay, can you confirm that you have received this document via email when you register for this webinar? All of you have it? Can you give me thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay, so I got a one thumb up. Great. All right. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming all of you have this AI prompt guide for the board. Okay, Stephen, Kathy. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the sample prompts, and we'll run those prompts with you guys, right? So again, come off mute and help me rewrite the prompt a little differently. Any questions so far before I jump into the hands-on exercise? Okay. Right. So I'm going to go over this prompt guide with you guys. So again, this is about me, the PM assistant, the product that we are working on, a typical board structure. So different chapters, different organizations have different type of board structure, but this is a typical structure, right? Typically, there's a president or the chair, the vice president, secretary, a treasurer, immediate past president, and then they have like a director of membership or VP of membership, academic relationship, administration, advocacy, certification, marketing and communication, education and programs. Okay, yeah. So Dhruti, yes, you can download from the link. I will copy the link here. Give me 1 second. All right, resource. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it, right? While I'm in the class. So now, your board may have these roles or different roles, but again, the whole idea is to give you some idea about how to use this guide. And again, anything you see in the green color is basically where you're providing the context, right? So the more context you provide, the better results you will get. So here is the first prompt. So for example, I'm leading a local organization name or chapter as a board chair. Can you help me as an AI assistant? So what we are doing is in here, we are providing the persona. Okay. Can you help me as an AI assistant? Okay. That's the persona. And then to plan the board activities for next and months, our objectives are, you can put objective 1, 2, 3, XYZ, right? So we have some sample prompts here. This one is written as, I am leading the Association of Supply Chain Management board as the board chair. Can you help me as an AI assistant to plan board activities for next 6 months? Our objectives are to provide value to members through education, professional networking, certification support, and industry engagement. Okay. I'm going to go to the chat GPT here, and I would like any one of you to come off mute and help me change this prompt. I would like to change this prompt. I just don't want to copy paste. So, give me something from that is specific to you, or kind of a generic in your work as a board.
Like you can say for a particular month, say December, we will not have any events, something like that.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm leading the Association of Supply Chain as the president. So I'm just going to say as the president. Okay. Can you help me to plan the board activities for next 6 months? So we are planning the board activities for next 6 months. Our objectives are to provide value through education, professional networking, certification support, and industry engagement. So since most of you are from, I can see are from PMI, so I'll say PMI, PMI Edmonton chapter. Okay. By the way, there's no Edmonton chapters called Northern Alberta chapter, so I'm just using PMI Edmonton as an example, right? Also, this event is not sponsored by PMI, and there is no relationship between me and PMI. It's the official disclaimer. Okay, so here is what I should be doing as a president. Establish the planning framework. So pillars are education, professional development, network and community engagement, certification and career growth, industry academic partnership. Okay. Now here are my goals: deliver engaging learning experience for project professionals, strengthen peer network, support PMI certifications and advancement, build bridge between employers and universities, right? And examples are like PMP prep course, lunch and learn, webinars, monthly networking, study groups, corporate roundtables, and guest lectures. Step number two, because we said that we would like to develop the strategy or the plan for the board for 6 months. So it automatically picks up because this is end of October today. So it picks up like month of November, we should be doing year-end engagement kickoff. There could be a webinar and volunteer recruitment drive. In December, member appreciation and recognition, holiday networking, social and volunteer spotlight. New Year, skill development. In January, PMP study group. Industry engagement in February, education and certification in March, and April, community visibility. Okay. Step three, it's saying that we'll map each activity to the board portfolio. So VP programs, membership will do these activities, marketing will do this, finance will do this, and president will do the governance and the partners outreach. As a next step, uh, it can help develop a Gantt chart, a board activities action tracker, member value dashboard, and again, it can help me build some templates. So now you can see that by simply putting like a 4 line of a prompt, it gives me that much of information. Now I can customize this to my level and say, you can remove this or you can add this, right? Any question or feedback? Anyone has used ChatGPT like this before? So somebody put a comment here. How about adding specific target audience? Yes, you can do that. So for example, I will say that, okay, now I'll say, okay, this is good start. Help me expand more on education and collaboration with local universities to promote PMI chapter. Okay, I can make spelling mistakes, that's fine. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding specific things. So education and academic collaboration, it's giving me some information. Now the key thing that I want to show you here is potential academic collaboration. It's picked up Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, which is a local polytechnic. University of Alberta, they have a School of Business, Faculty of Engineering, and a School of Continuing Education. McEwen University, they have Faculty of Business, Concordia University, and Athabasca that offers online programs. Because I have said I am from Edmonton, okay, it picks up my local universities automatically. Okay, and this is the beauty of generative AI is because it can pick up based on the context of your prompt. So here's a 6 month roadmap that it expanded for me, right? So academic partnership outreach, formalized contract with NATE UFA, University of Alberta, we call it UFA, and McEwen to identify academic liaison or the PM professors. So look for professors, look for who are the people that I need to connect, and expected outcome is we should have 3 MOUs. Okay, in December, we can run a student awareness campaign. In January, we can have a day at NATE. We have PMI student mentorship. Then in March, we can offer CAPM prep series. And then in April, we can do some student showcase or awareness projects. So you can see that it gives you so much ideas by just asking the right question. Okay. Now, again, it's giving me more ideas about academic ambassador program. That means I can recruit 1 or 2 students from each institute to do that academic ambassador, have some capstone integration project, do some guest lecture and panels, right? Certification scholarship, free CAPM course. Again, it's suggesting something, you still need your board approval for that, right? Um, Further go down, it gives me success metrics, it gives me governance role, who are the different VPs and the directors that I need to engage in building this. Now I can simply go and say, for example, I can say what are the potential schools within each of these post-secondary institute that I should connect, right? Then it can look for me. So if I click here and I can click on agent mode, I'm not going to run the agent mode here, but I can show you quickly. Say, for example, who should I contact at University of Alberta for potential collaboration with PMI? Okay. Agent mode takes 5 minutes sometimes. So, and because what it does, it goes out, it searches the web for you, right? And not just search the web, but it really digs down more into different website, different content, and come up with give you the response that would truly make sense to you, right? So now it's reading some you different websites for me basically, right? So I'm going to let it run here for the fun sake, and then we will do a few more prompts. I'm going to open another window, and then we'll come back here a little later to see how my agent is doing. Okay. How about adding specific targets for audience? Yes. So if I scroll up, so you can see that it gives me the success metrics. So number of universities partnered, membership growth, number of student membership, percentage of the retention after graduation, certification. So it can help you come up with some of those targets that you can set for yourself or for your board. Okay. So I'm going to let the agent mode running. Okay. Now I'm going to change some gears. I'm going to go back to my board and look at some more examples. So So here's a prompt. Number three. Again, you get there are 50 prompts in this guide. Use this as a reference point, as a starting point to start thinking with AI. So you need to position yourself as AI that can collaborate and augment your human capabilities, that can think with you. Remember, AI, generative AI, has read every single document on the internet, so it has a lot of deep knowledge. Prompt number two talks about draft a board meeting agenda. So I'm leading organization. Can you help me as an AI assistant to draft the board meeting agenda with objectives one to three and key discussion and strategic priorities, right? So simple, it will give you the agenda for your board meeting, right? So sometime running the board meeting, we struggle about like agendas and what do we need to talk about. You just type it in that you would like to discuss these items, and it will generate the agenda for you. This is very powerful prompt. Analyze a meeting. So number if you have your AI assistant joining this call, meaning at the end of this meeting, you will have the full transcription available to you. You can put the transcription into any AI and ask a bunch of questions. So for example, here I'm leading IIBA chapter. Help me as an AI assistant to analyze our recent board meeting. Okay, I'll provide you the board meeting transcription. Please help identify takeaways and recommendation and follow-up action items. You can further expand this. Give me the action item in a table format, right? Then it will give you the output in a table format that you can simply assign to different team members. I'm gonna look at prompt number 7. So I'm not gonna go over all the prompts, but I'm just going over some of the interesting ones. Develop outreach plan. I'm leading the local chapter. Can you help me as an AI assistant to develop outreach plan to engage target group, academic institute, professional or government agencies? So I'm going to copy this one and we'll use it for the local universities. So let me see if okay, there we go. So it took 4 minutes. Now, so what I ask is, who should I contact at University of Alberta for potential collaboration with PMI? Now it's telling me that they have a strategic partnership office. They also have project management certification program. They have executive professional education program. They have engineering student groups. And now it's giving me the email addresses as well, as you can see here, right? So now it's not just telling me what to do, but it's giving me the email addresses that I can draft an email and send them an email, and some phone numbers as well. Okay, so you can see that it's much more powerful than what we can think of. So let me go back to my prompt here. So I'm leading, I'm going to say local PMI chapter. Can you help me to develop uh, okay. Help assistant to develop a strategic plan based on our chapter goals and engagement among industry. Sorry, I copied incorrectly. Give me 1 second. So help me to develop an outreach plan. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. Okay. Assistant to develop outreach plan targeting local universities and professionals to promote certification industry networking. So I'm going to remove the agent mode because that will take for good 4 or 5 minutes. So it knows my name. You can see that, right? So the more you use, the more it knows about you. So here's my outreach plan, my university outreach strategy, target institutions, outreach activities, supporting material, okay, professional industry outreach strategy, outreach timelines. Again, I can modify this as what I prefer to do for myself. Okay, I'm not gonna read every single line here, but you get an idea. Is how it can do it for you, right? So now as a next steps, sometimes it will suggest you that it can deliver something for you. So for example, develop a university outreach package, DAC flyer, a sign up on a QR code with a QR code, right? So that's something very useful and easy for you to follow up. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to the guide again and I'm gonna look at prompt number 10. That is okay. So one of the challenging situation is that, sometime people leave the board in middle of the year, right? Now you need to publish that job posting or volunteer posting and look for new people to come and join, right? So I'm gonna use this prompt. I'm leading a local chapter. Can you help me as an AI to create a new position for director of finance with objective to develop policies and additionally provide justification for this role? Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna put this new. I mean, I will say it's a volunteer positions. Otherwise, it's gonna put like a director of something, right? So I don't have to write a job description because now it's saying, why do we need PMI Edmonton chapter, volunteer role proposal, director of finance, purpose, role summary, policy development. So key responsibilities, policy development. So if you remember, objective developing policies and enforcing oversight. Okay, so that's basically enforcing oversight. So policy development, financial oversight, budget support, reporting and documentation, training and awareness, and collaboration. Those are the key responsibilities based on the information I provided. Rural authority, some of the deliverables, reporting structure, report to the vice president, or you can change this one. Skill required, time commitment, average 4 to 6 hours per month. Could be more, but it's a starting point that you can put a job description. Now you have a detailed plan, right? Now you may want to say, okay, I would like to create the next prompt is I would like to create a social media post for this position. So I will say that, hey, help me write a social media post for this role using for LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn only, because the Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, and others have different scope, right? Now it's telling me how to do it. Or we are growing, join our leadership team, is looking for potential director of finance. It's a volunteer role, right? As a part of board leader, director of finance will do these activities. Why this role matters? If you have background in finance and accounting, you want to make an impact, come and join us. And info, it's asking you to put your email address and your website link, and then it automatically hashtags. Okay. How about post for Twitter/X? Now Twitter has 140 characters, right? So now it's a very short. We are seeking director of finance to help build strong financial governance, transparency, and oversight. If you're finance and accounting pro, ready to give back, join our leadership team. Okay, so you can see that just changing it for Twitter, because Twitter has a to an 80 character limit now, not 140. It gives you exactly what you need for that. Okay. Anyone have any questions or comments? Okay, I'm gonna skip to few more prompts. So page okay 19, prompt number 19. Um, Develop an expense reimbursement process, right? So you can say that, hey, I'm working as a treasurer or the director of finance. Can you help me assist in developing the expense reimbursement process to ensure transparency, timely, and fair reimbursement process, right? So if you copy this one, and I'm gonna go, because I'm kind of a building upon it. It knows my role, it knows my name. I'm just gonna copy this, and it will help me develop a process. Um, Now, whenever there's a process, there are some guiding principles, which is transparency, timeline, accountability, fairness, and compliance. We talked about it in here. Ensure transparency, timely approval, and accountability for chapter-related expense. Okay. Roles and responsibilities. Somebody will submit, somebody will approve, VP Finance and Director will verify an accuracy, President or Board Chair will final approve, and Treasurer will do the bookkeeping. Okay. Now it's giving me the workflow. I can go here and say, um, can you draw the workflow diagram? Workflow diagram. Now, sometimes it does a good job. Most of the time, it does not do a great job, right? So I don't want you to have a higher expectation. But you can see that now expense incurred, volunteer or board member, is it pre-approval required for all expenses, approved by portfolio VP, expense submission, create a form, attach receipt, send to someone. Somebody will review it, somebody will verify it, somebody will approve it. Okay. And then payment process will be done and the records will be kept. So you can see that it can generate a good workflow diagram for me as well. So very, very simple, but it's all about what questions are we asking generative AI. As I mentioned, it's highly adaptive. So the more smart questions you ask, the smarter it becomes, and it will help you get things faster for you. So for visual layout, it gives me this, and again, it's suggesting me some colors and graphics. I can go, I can create an image, and then it will create an image for you, right? So again, I'm not going to do that right now because images takes some time. Okay. Okay, going back to the guide, 19, then we have 24. So again, these are the prompts that I selected right now, but again, you can select anything that you would like. Can you help me as an assistant to brainstorm ideas to increase membership for the following categories? Okay, so if I can copy this, you okay, can you help me as an AI assistant to brainstorm ideas to increase membership among students and recent graduate by promoting our certification and networking opportunities? So just paste it here. So absolutely, it knows my name. I've used it so much. So we said that we would like to brainstorm some ideas. Okay. Now, one of the thing that you could do is you can add to your prompt is something like ask me clarifying questions one by one. So what I would like to do is sometime it start producing like a bunch of documents. I don't like that. Sometimes I would put ask me clarifying question one by one. So what it does is it asks me a question before it formalizes is the response. Okay. Um, let's redo this. Ask me clarifying questions one by one. Now, what will happen is that it will ask me a bunch of questions to clarify what I would like to achieve. So, what is the primary outcome of this campaign for next 6 months? New membership, exam sign up, event attendance, partnership, or something else. I'll simply type A, which is new membership, new student membership drive. Okay. Which local universities I would like to prefer? So I will say University of Alberta only. Okay. Or I can put few names. What type of student you would like to attract? Business, masters, or mix? I would say mix. You want membership drive to focus on certification, uh, or career and networking? So I'll say career and networking value, because I think certifications come after a few years of experience. What type of event or engagement format, right? Um, so I'll go with on campus and networking and social.
If we just type A, it will take it.
Yes. So I will say A, C, and D. Yep. Okay. So excellent. So we'll focus on PMI day, networking night and social, alumni professional. What timeline are you envisioning for this? For example, you're targeting winter, I'll say 6 months. Next, I'll say from now till May 2026, because that's when the schools end, right? What resources and incentive can chapter offer to attract a student? This is a very deep question. So because I've been using Chat GPT to a level where it's like, okay, it's asking me some deeper question now. So we can say free or discounted membership, access to exclusive networking event, mentorship, exam prep. So I will say first three. Our focus, our focus will be on first three bullets. Uh, Certification comes later. So now, free and discounted membership, exclusive networking, mentorship. Okay, who will lead and coordinate this initiative? For example, it will be under VP membership, or I'll just pick up student. I'll say student engagement committee, right? I'm just making these up, right? So, but you can see that based on the context, it's kind of picking those things. What tone or style do you would like your campaign message to be, right? I would say blend of both. Blend of both. Right. Do you want University of Alberta membership draft to include collaboration with campus partner like Career Center Engineering? I would say yes. So, okay. Now it's saying next step. Would you like me to draft a full student campaign or quick executive summary? What you would like? Quick executive summary or a full detailed plan?
Let's try the quick one first, and then we can
Okay.
also ask for the second.
Quick summary first. Okay. Now here is Edmonton chapter, University of Alberta, student membership drive. Objective is to student recent graduate, showcasing career networking and mentorship. Campaign overview, timelines from now till May 2026, led by student engagement committee, focus on undergrad and grad students. Value proposition. So now giving me a tag. Build your project management network before you graduate. Connect, learn, and grow with PMI Edmonton. You know, it gives you the tagline, right? Without much effort. So key initiatives. We said that we're gonna do these events, right? Um, Student incentives, free or discounted membership, priority access, volunteer opportunities, recognition as PMI student contributor on LinkedIn. I'm not sure how to do it, but that's a good idea, right? Partnership with the University of Alberta Career Center, engineering and business student, continuing education, and then give me some success metrics and the next steps. And then say, would you like me to create a detailed campaign like timelines, task, role, KPIs, and much more? So here is like It's a tool available to all of us. It's just a matter of asking the right question. And by just asking the right question, it can drive and it can do the work for us. Now it's up to us to do the next level to complete the task. Okay, this is great. Okay, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to talk about a few more prompts here. Number 26. So membership survey. This is an important one, right? So we have events, we have conferences, PD days, and much more. We want to get the survey done, right? So you can simply ask, can you help me develop 10 question survey to understand member satisfaction with chapter activities in the last 6 months? And I would like to collect future topics that may interest the chapter members. So you can simply copy. Okay. I'm going to go back here. Say, okay. So here's the 10 questions. Okay. Very simple, right? How satisfied with you are you with the chapter events and activities in past 6 months? Very satisfied, satisfied, neutral, dissatisfied, or very dissatisfied. Which chapter activity did you participate in the last 6 months, right? Again, you need to look into this, whether you had a monthly chapter meeting or not, right? Whether you had a professional development webinars or workshop, right? Whatever is appropriate, put it there. How would you like to rate overall quality? How satisfied with your communication? Value for your membership, interest in topics, right? What industries you are belonging to, and optional demographic question that you would like to ask, whether you are a student, retired, or a non-member. Okay, so you can see that now it's saying format this survey into Google Forms or Microsoft Form with the branching logic and ready to deploy. So now it can generate the code for you that you can put in the Google form, and then your survey forms are ready. You just need to publish that link.
If you want to modify any of these questions, do you
Yes.
have to copy into a Word document and modify, or here itself, for example, for the question number 8, if you want to remove a couple of options,
Okay.
do
Perfect.
you have, yeah,
Let's do that. Right. So for number 8, construction, engineering, healthcare, or energy, education, academy. Okay. I'll say, okay, for question 8, add followings. So for example, I will add banking. Do they don't have banking, right? So banking slash banking, insurance, or finance, right? What else we could add here? Um, let's just add for question 8.
and
Add
remove
just
one, maybe remove non-profit or something.
and non remove non-profit, and then create Google form. Okay. Now the instruction I'm giving is add this, remove this, and create a Google form for me. So I have not tried the Google form before, so let's see what type of Google form it gives me or not. Okay, so now it's telling me in order for Google form, I need to do some settings, right? Which I have not enabled it. But now you can see that question number 8, if I go, I have banking, insurance, and finance, and it removed the one that we asked it to remove.
Yep.
Okay, so this is how powerful it is, right? So you can talk to it and it will change things for you, right? So you can say, help me expand this more or that area a little bit more. So membership survey, I'm going to look at prompt 29. Let's see what this is. A sponsorship package. So let's say you're running a conference or a PD day, you want to come up with some sponsorship packages, right? So you can say that, hey, we would like to create some opportunities for sponsor the event, gold, silver, bronze type of thing, and it will draft something for you. Again, you need to give a little bit more context than what I'm talking about, but that's important to understand that it can come up with some ideas for you. Then 37 is with an education speaker introduction. So I speak at a number of different organizations. Sometimes I submit my introduction that is typically like a 1 page long for the board to understand who I am, because sometimes they don't know me. Um, and sometimes somebody start reading that 1 page. I'm like, please don't read that 1 page, right? It's boring. What you could do is you can say that, help me highlight key points from the speaker profile to be read in 45 seconds on this annual summit or whatever, right? So then what we'll do is we'll give you like a quick summary of that speaker. So you can give like a 1 page introduction and then ask it to be give me something that can be read in 45 seconds. That's one of my favorite one. And then the last one I want to
So
highlight.
how do you upload a profile there, one page profile?
Oh, sure. So let me just do this. Okay, let me show you. Give me 1 second. I need to find out where I have something written. So if I go here, let me see. Mm,
So same thing can be expanded to if I have a six page resume, I can
yes.
ask it to compile it to a 2 page.
Oh, yes, easily. Okay. Okay, easily. Just thinking. Okay, let's say I don't have in this one. Sorry, should not have opened this one. Um, Give me 1 second. Let me just open downloads. So for example, I'm just opening my resume, right? Okay. So here's my resume. Okay. So, whatever, right? So I'm gonna copy my whole resume, put it into Chat GPT, and say, help me write. What was that? 41, right? No, it was 37. So let me see what was 37. Okay. Yes. Can you help me write key points? Okay. So go back to here. Okay. I will upload my resume based on the resume. Help me, um, help me, help me write, help me prepare a 30-second elevator pitch. I'm just changing elevator pitch. Okay. Now I hit enter. It will say that, okay, upload your resume. Yeah, go ahead and upload your resume. I'm gonna go and upload my resume from here. Okay, here. Right. Now I just did that. Here's a 30-second elevator pitch. I'm Rashid Ahmed, a senior program leader with over 20 years of experience delivering complex technology, cybersecurity transformation project worth over $100 million across healthcare, education, public sector. I specialize in connecting business strategy with executives, aligning C-suite, PM operations, governance framework. Yes, today I lead consulting and advisory service through M1 Consulting, helping clients build digital resilience and AI-driven PMO capabilities while fostering innovation, risk management, and stakeholder engagement. Okay, so you can put your resume, for example, you can put somebody's profile, a LinkedIn profile, and it will do the same thing for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So now I'm gonna change the gears, and so I want to show quickly one thing. So this is something that I learned recently. If you go to sheets.google.com, which is the Google Sheet, okay, now you can write, say, for example, I'm going to write here, North Dakota, and I will say AI I'll simply say AI. What, I'll put quote. What is the capital of comma, and I'm going to put A3. All right. So it's going to run this for me and says Bismarck. Now, if I'm going to change this one to New Mexico, okay, and I'll say generate and insert, it's say Santa Fe, right? So now you can have a spreadsheet, and within a spreadsheet, you can call the AI. So this is a game changer.
So how did you get the prompt for column B?
So this is the prompt.
Okay.
So it's equal to AI bracket quote prompt comma the variable name.
I'm sure because you're doing it in Google, it's automatically Gemini that you're invoking.
Yes, 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 yes. I think Microsoft also launched something like that last week or few sometime back, but I've not tested it. I'm more on the Google Gemini, so it's I use Gemini quite a lot.
And the question you put within the parenthesis, you can put
Yes.
in any format you want, or there is a specific words that you have to use.
No, you can put any prompt, right? You can say
Okay.
you can say anything, right?
Okay.
So you can say what is the capital of this, right? So if I put here a country, let's just put a country name, Japan. Okay. And now I'm gonna do this. It's Tokyo, right? So you can have like all the country names, and then you can just copy the formula, and you'll get all the things, right? So like this is very, very powerful for analyzing data that we don't have to analyze anymore, right?
So that AI space parenthesis,
Yep.
that is what the prompt.
Yep. Okay. So we talked about AI prompt guide. We did some exercises. You can write a prompt to write a prompt, right? So you can say, hey, help me write a better prompt. Or the example I use is ask me clarifying question one by one. You can create PDF, you can create Excel files, you can create Word documents, and much more. So what we did today is we talked about generative AI, we talked about prompting skills, and we did some exercises for the board, how to leverage AI for. Um, one other thing that I do is I speak at different platforms. Last month I did a webinar for the projectmanagement.com, which is by PMI, and that webinar has like over 3,000 people have watched my webinar since last month. My first webinar, I believe, has over 30,000 on-demand views. So again, if you go and search my name on the projectmanagement.com, you'll find those links. I have done a number of keynote speeches at the chapter PD days, and I do offer AI Masterclass as well. So one of the keynote speech, this one I did like last month for the projectmanagement.com, that's about overcoming the AI fear. It talks about the imposter syndrome, right? All of us know that it exists, but we really need to embrace it, and we really need to equip ourselves so that we feel comfortable about using technology. The other topic that I have prepared is the human touch, balancing empathy within project in the age of AI. Again, looking at the soft skill side of the project managers, and balancing what is important as a role of empathy as a human, and leveraging technology at the same time. And the last one is building a case for AI adoption, because number of companies are saying, hey, how can we start using AI, right? So what we need to do as a leader within our organizations, we need to build up a case. How can we ask more from our management team to allow, for example, Copilot or Google Gemini to start adopting for our day-to-day usage? I also offer like an AI masterclass, which is kind of a similar to what we did today, but a little bit more. So, for example, we cover the AI fundamental and a little bit more details. We talk about the prompting skills and a little bit more details. We do the hands-on exercise using AI prompt guide for the project managers, which you can also download from here. I will put up a link in the chat. Okay, where is the chat? Okay. And this guide, and we talk about AI ethics, governance, and risk, and the role of human in the age of AI, because everybody's really worried about what's going to happen in a few years. My simple response is we have been through the internet age. We will go through this AI age. Yes, it will change. It will change the professions. There will be new professions that we have never thought about. Typically, this AI masterclass is like a half a day or a full day. It could be virtual or it could be in person. And just to share some of their experience, that I understand that a lot of PMI chapters are non-for-profit. So what has been working very well, I did with PMI Toronto, PMI Sun City, PMI Durham Highland, and a couple of other chapters. We did like on a profit sharing basis, meaning that, I will develop the content, I will bring the content, your chapter will just market that event, and whatever we make, your chapter will make 20% of it, right? So it makes a win-win situation that will help your chapter to offer your resources a class, an AI masterclass where they can learn and improve their AI skills. In terms of experience, I have delivered over 12 AI master classes. I've trained over 500 professionals, typical size 15 to 20. That's what my preferred size is. But I have done AI masterclass in a conference setting a few times with over 400 people. It was a little tough for me, but I did it. Some references. And with that, I'm going to thank you for your time. Scan this QR code for provide the feedback on this class, and floor is open for questions and answers.
One question about the AI knowing your information, right? It gave your name at one point, right?
Yes.
Do you provide when you set up ChatGPT, or it automatically learns over time, or do you give any additional profile information for that to store?
I don't think I give my name explicitly to it, but because I have uploaded my resume a few times, I have used generative AI to review my LinkedIn profile, so it kind of knows me, right? So one thing you could do, I'm gonna show you a fun activity, right? So if I go back here, and if I say, hey, I'll say, you know a lot about me, okay? What would you recommend me as my next career move, right? So I'm brave enough to try this in front of public. So that's a great question, Mashood. And based on everything I know about you, background, leadership experience, your drive, AI project management, transformation, community, thought leadership, here's your next career move, right? Chief Technology Officer, VP Digital PMO, why this fit, founder or AI Chief Project Solution Officer, entrepreneurial track. I have some entrepreneurial background. I've been running PM Assistant, so it knows that I'm running the PM Assistant.ai. Global thought leadership, academic industry hybrid, strategic recommendation. So again, you see that just asking the question, saying, hey, what do you know about me? What should I be my next career move? It will tell you quite a lot. Okay. So please take the survey. I will try to send you the survey link after as well. And yep. So here's my QR code for my LinkedIn. So feel free to connect with me LinkedIn. I'll be happy to talk to you if you're interested about engage me for speaking with the chapter as a keynote speak, or maybe an AI masterclass that we can customize for your chapter. whether you would prefer in person or virtual. I can manage that and will be happy to help you and your chapters. Okay. Thank you. This was great and very thorough. Thank you. Thank you, Dinah.
Awesome.
Any thank you, Mashid. Very informative. Stephen, yes. Mariam, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So feel free to connect with me. Happy to help. And if you have any question, put it here. I'm going to stick for a couple of more minutes, and then we'll catch up afterwards. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
One last question,
Yes,
probably.
Suresh.
I heard somewhere that you need to introduce yourself in a uh, very frank way so that it will know that whatever question you ask, it means business. It won't say some niceties, all those things, right? Someone told me that we need to introduce yourself very well so that the AI knows that you mean business. It doesn't waste your time.
Yes. So remember when we were talking about the prompt, I said that you need to use a persona, right? And if you look at the prompt guide, all the prompts have like, I am working as this role and you are helping me as my assistant to do this and this, right? So that persona helps AI to frame it for you. Okay. So for example, if I say I'm working as a project manager, my persona changes. If I say I'm working as a portfolio manager, the persona and my questions will change automatically, right? So yes, you need to provide the clarity so that it has the right context. Okay.
Awesome. Yes,
Um,
that is the word I was looking for. Persona. Yeah.
yes,
Thank you.
persona. So Mariam is asking, does the prompt guide have instruction on how to use generative AI to review my LinkedIn profile? Um, I'm not sure if I have a prompt on that one, but yes, you can do that. So for example, if I copy my LinkedIn profile, and that's better if you do it in the agent mode, right? Okay, help
Okay.
me improve my LinkedIn profile. And I'm going to put a link, and then I'm going to put add and put an agent mode. That will take a few minutes. Um, the idea is that if you don't use the agent mode, it sometimes does not search the web for you. But once you put the agent mode, it does search the web for you. So I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to put this one again.
Okay. So just
In
the link and then the agent mode.
Yep.
Okay.
So help me improve my profile. So sometimes it does, right? I don't know why. So it's still thinking, so it won't let me do it. But you get the idea. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
How do you stop it in case you don't want to?
Yeah. It stopped after 32 seconds. I think I clicked on the stop, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if I put this one, help me improve my profile. So now it's giving me like a very generic information because it's not reading. Or maybe it's reading, right? No, it's not reading. No, it's just kind of giving me generic, right? But if I put the agent mode, then yes, it will read my profile, it will do certain steps. And agent, I'm using the paid version of the chat GPT. So some of the feature, I'm not sure if the agent mode is available to the free users. I would highly recommend use the paid version, because if you're not paying it, you are sharing your information with them. And again, there may or may not be some issues.
How expensive is the paid version? Do they have multiple plans or only one plan?
Oh, there's a 20, starting with $20, right?
Monthly. Okay.
Yeah, which is quite reasonable.
When you click on the plus sign, there are a few other modes, right?
Yeah. So I can add photos and files. So I can add files. I can do some deep research. Okay, create image, agent mode, add sources, and then study and learn. I can create some canvas, and I can do some web searches.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And again, some of these will change future, right? So this is ChatGPT 5. I can go to the older version if I want to, so it just things will change. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Suresh. So let's connect on
Really,
LinkedIn. You have
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
you have
It's
my email
really,
address as well.
yes, yes. It's
And
really eye-opening, and we would
yeah,
like to invite you to our chapter one time, maybe virtually, because you live in Canada, right?
yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay. And
Okay.
Suresh, by the way, which chapter you're from?
I'm from Central Virginia. I'm the president of the chapter.
Okay, great. Central Virginia. Perfect. We will
Okay.
catch up. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.